Hi everybody, this is Catherine and Heather with Keep It Simple Social Media, and in today's episode of Social Chats, we are doing cocktails. Woo! And normally we interview someone who's either successful with social media, has some tips to share, good insiders information with video, with photo, with marketing, and so on. But this time we decided to do a cocktail show because in all of the 400, how many videos are on YouTube?
Well, we've done over 400 YouTube videos, and one of the things that Kiss Media does every Christmas is we do a Christmas cocktail. And Catherine had a really interesting discovery a couple of months ago. What was that, Catherine?
Well, of all the videos that are there, and that like 400 plus videos is a lot of videos. The most popular one was Heather's Christmas cocktail recipe. And we teach in our classes that what you should do is look at what's working and duplicate that. We call them your unicorns. If you have a post or some content that's working, then you should duplicate it and make baby unicorns type thing. So I was saying, well, you know what, this is really interesting because your most famous video, the most famous video on the Kiss YouTube account is cocktails. So we should do more of that because that's apparently what people like. And so this is why we are here today. This is a live show. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to type them in. We will see them on our screen and answer them. And if you are watching this replay, welcome to the Keep It Simple Social Media First Summer Cocktail Recipe Party Edition.
Excellent. Thanks, Catherine. It's true. We weren't sure if people were watching because cocktails are popular or because they were looking for a recipe. And we have a lot of really special events coming up in the next week. One, I'm doing a family reunion on Vancouver Island, and we're also having a big cocktail party here in Whistler. And Catherine, of course, is heading to the cabin on the lake. And so you always like to have a really nice, refreshing drink to offer your guests while you're entertaining. And summer is a perfect time for us to give you a couple of our favorite recipes. So the first recipe I'm going to start with as my cocktail is a very simple white wine spritzer. And this is a drink that I kind of like to have if I'm entertaining because you can sip it slowly, it stays cold because of the ice, and it doesn't go right to your head really fast, so you can have a couple of them throughout the evening. So it starts with, of course, you need to have a nice wine glass, and then you just take some ice cubes and fill them up into your glass like this. And who says that a decanter is only for red wine? Here's an example of dressing up your table by putting your white wine in here. Now, another thing about white wine spritzers are you're going to put a soda water of some type into the wine. So you don't necessarily have to use a really expensive wine. And sometimes what we do is we take our less expensive wine, our more economical wine, and we pour it into a decanter, and then it looks really pretty, and it just sits on your table. So then you're going to pour, about 4 ounces of wine. And then you're going to take your soda water. Now, what's interesting is you can use Pellegrino, you can use Perrier, you can use just a bottle of soda water that you purchase at the store. But what I use is SodaStream. So this is SodaStream over here on my right hand, your camera left side. And SodaStream was actually brought into Canada back in the 80s by a good friend of mine, Marta. And she also has these really pretty bottles that you can use. And even if you're not serving white wine spritzers, but you want to have a soda water on your table when you're serving dinner, putting it in a beautiful bottle like this is always really nice. So what you want to do is you want to top off your white wine with the soda water. And I like to use equal parts, but it's a preference. It's entirely up to you what you like to do. If you keep the lid tight on your soda water, it'll keep the bubbles in place. So when you go to use it next time, it'll still have lots of effervescence about it. Now, you never want to just serve your spritzer like this. You want to dress it up a little bit. And it's so much fun to use all different kinds of items to dress it up. But I'm going to pick my favorite, which is I like to cut my limes in ovals and just drop them in, and always a little bit of lemon. And you can squeeze your fruit in so it gives a beautiful flavor, or you can just hang your fruit on the side of the glass. And this, my friends, is a white wine spritzer. And because you're using half of the wine that you would normally use, it's not 150 calories, ladies. It's only like 75 calories. So you see, you could have a couple of these and still watch your beautiful waistline. So that's our first cocktail today. It's the white wine spritzer, and they're absolutely delicious. It's lovely.
First,
now the second cocktail that I'm going to do, this one you don't want to serve a great big amount of people, because quite honestly, the liqueur that we're going to use, which is called the St.Germain, and this actually is from France. It's an elderflower liqueur, and it's sweet and it smells beautiful. And I was introduced to this liqueur by one of my BBFs from Vancouver Island, Deanna Pimlott. And she brought it to our home here in Whistler a couple of years ago, and she topped off our gin and tonics with the St.Germain. And I have to tell you, the bottle is gorgeous, but it's not cheap. Like, these are $50 for this liqueur. So to me, that's a little bit expensive. Yes, Catherine?
well, can we buy that anywhere? Like where?
Yeah, so I just went to the liquor store and I purchased this. You can also buy littler bottles of it if you want to just test it out. But I figured because it was for today's show, I wanted to show you the real McCoy, and I didn't want to show you my bottle that was only had this much left in it. So, yeah, so Diane used it to top off a gin and tonic. But I found another use for it, which is a really awesome cocktail to offer your guests when they first arrive, because you don't want to serve too many of these. But this is called the Elder Blossom. And it simply takes a glass, a champagne glass, and you want to open your champagne. But because Catherine and I are here today, just the two of us, I'm not going to open the whole bottle.
Come on, you can handle it.
So what I did was, you can get these really beautiful little bottles. They're gorgeous presentations. You know, even if you have 6 people coming for dinner, you could buy 6 little bottles of these, and you could buy the 6 little bottles of St.Germain, and you could pass them around the table. They're just beautiful. So you open your champagne.
No, it's in a twist.
It's a twist off.
Perfect.
Yeah, no cork. I was worried about the cork and getting it off today, but then I realized, no, this is now champagne with twist off. This particular champagne is from France. So you have the liqueur, St.Germain from France, and you have the champagne as well from France. And you just pour your champagne into your glass. And because it's champagne, you need to pour it slowly. It's always nice to have a really chilled glass. I personally don't have it chilled today, so I do apologize for that. But you pour your champagne in, and you leave about a quarter on the top to spare. And then you're going to take, yes, Catherine?
Well, when you chill, so like we chill beer mugs and stuff in the freezer, but how do you chill your champagne flutes in the freezer too? Or you just put ice in? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that. You can do the other, which you just said, put some ice in it so it chills the glass that way. I don't know if you have a wine fridge. We have one down here, but the levels aren't, they're too close together. Yeah. But you could lay the glass down like a bottle of wine, I guess. Now with your liqueur, you only want to use about 1 ounce, and you could just top it off. I'm a really good free pourer. This recipe actually calls for vodka as well. But to me, I thought I wouldn't want a drink that has a liqueur in it, vodka in it, and champagne. It just seemed too strong. So here we have our Elder Blossom. And what you can do is you can cut strawberries up and put them on top as a garnish. You could take blueberries like I have here, and you could just drop them in. See how pretty that looks? And it's going to take the dye of the blueberry and give it a little bit of color. You can even take flowers, and as long as they're edible flowers, you could put them on top of your drink, and it looks beautiful. I love lavender to use as a garnish on a cocktail. We have these really cute little tiny, you probably can't see them, but they're toothpicks with a seashell on the very end of them. And you could put your strawberry on there, and you could just rest it across the top like this. You can use any garnish you want. One of the things that I learned today when I went to the florist, I went to Santa here in Whistler, and when I was talking with the florist, he said, Heather, you should know that most flowers that you buy at a florist have been sprayed with chemicals, right? And I would have never put two and two and thought about this. And so he said we wouldn't sell them to people if they were going to use them for food. So if you are going to have a beautiful, let's say a wedding party, or you're going to have a wedding rehearsal and you want to serve this beautiful, very classic cocktail, you should go to an organic florist or farm. They recommended going out to Pemberton. And that's where you can buy flowers to put in food, and a lot of restaurants source their flowers that they use in their food as well. But if you're going to just use them out of your garden, make sure you soak them, and that takes out any little bugs and things that are in them. But there's nothing prettier than serving a cocktail that is garnished with beautiful flowers and fruit. So this is our Champagne Blossom, the Elder Blossom. It's the second cocktail that I'm going to serve for my guests when they arrive this evening for dinner. And let's just have a little taste.
So, and these recipes are going to be on the Keep It Simple social media Facebook page.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Oh, here
Catherine,
we go.
you have to try this. This is so beautiful. I love this. So this is actually my new favorite cocktail. And all the ingredients were locally sourced. So we have our white wine spritzer, which is nice and fresh, and it's economical, and you can serve it to a lot of people. And then, of course, for your more intimate occasions, or even perhaps a wedding, I would serve the Elder Blossom. And so those are my cocktails, Catherine. And I know you have a real fun one that you're going to introduce to everyone that's watching. I would love it if you wanted to add in the comment section below what your favorite cocktail is. Because we're always looking to mix things up when we're entertaining our guests. Not only that, but the people that come back and watch our live Facebook show, they'll be able to see your comments and what you recommend as a really great cocktail to serve. And yeah, so that's all for now. Feel free to ask questions if you have any. And Catherine, okay, you're up next.
Okay, we have to do an Instagram live switch off.
All right.
Okay, this is people, this is like our guys. Hi everybody, I'm doing Instagram live. Here we go.
All right. So is this
so you look at it, you'll see this. Hello. Wow. Okay, this is intimidating, kind of. My cocktail is a little bit more rustic. We have a cabin on the lake. We're on a boat a lot, and Heather, I know you have a boat as well. Funny things we live in Whistler, we both have boats, but anyways, lucky us. So I thought I would make a cocktail that you can take with you. So my cocktail is going to be in a mason jar. And I got this at the grocery store. I got a dozen for $10. So these are the best little things because you can make your drink and then you can close it up. And if you want to get on the boat or on the canoe or something, you can take it with you. My husband uses those for gin and tonics all the time. but I am more of a mojito person. Oh, can I taste your...
Oh, I love this, Catherine. Oh, yes, please do. We want to say hi to Carol Gertz is here. Hi, Carol.
This is really good.
Isn't that yummy?
Who's gonna drink her? I love the cocktail show. He's giving me strength for live video. Live video is not easy. Sometimes you need a cocktail. All right. So in the mojito, there's a couple of secret things about to make a really good mojito, and one of the things is the limes, which you can find organic limes. The reason for that is all the stuff they put the pesticides on the lime. I know my husband's really particular about this, so make sure you get a good organic one so you feel okay about putting it in your drink. And so you take one lime, and then there's a bit of crushing action going on. So they say mint. You don't need that many. So for a small mason jar, say you have like 6 pieces or like about 4 or 6 leaves. So you put this in, and then you put some of your lime. So I'm going to cut it in little pieces. I haven't done my prep, but this is Korea.
Where did you get your mint?
Oh, at the grocery store. You see your arm in the just at the local grocery store, and this is, look at this, because we're in season.
Oh, wow.
This is what they sell at the grocery store. You can grow it in your garden. It grows like weeds, and we have some at the lake, but we're in this right now, so I just did this one. And this, we're in season, so it's really cheap. It smells so good. So you put a bit of your lime in your mason jar with your leaves, easy. And then the trick to this is, instead of using sugar, I use agave. And the reason for that is you don't have the little crystals of the sugar. Then that would kind of stay at the bottom because your drink is cold. The sugar wouldn't melt. So if you use agave, it kind of blends into it. Or you can make like a sugar syrup with boiling water and stuff. But to make it quick, we have organic agave. And so for this, we put about 2 teaspoons or like a good tablespoon. It's like so way better than coffee. So let's do this. And this is where the funny bit happens. You want to crush it a bit to mix it together. Crush, crush, crush. Not too much, not to break all the leaves, but this is how all the flavors kind of mix together, right? And so do that.
This is a great summer drink, Catherine.
Yeah, and you know what? You can make like a whole bunch and then have them in your little mason jars. And you're good to go. When people come in, you just add like a fresh piece of it. And so then you put your ice cubes.
We have candy here.
Yes. And, the rum. You don't want to forget the booze. There are so many like pregnant friends that, so we're gonna just pretend we know and let, so practically announce about, and then you top it off with this.
What is that?
This is your club soda. So Heather has the fancy version. I'm like really roughing cottage life where you would have a can, but if you're better, you have an actual little fizzy thing in a glass thing. Alright, and then that's that. And then, sometimes I put blackberries in here because they look really good, and at the Fairmont Shop Whistler, they serve their mojito with blackberries, and it's so yummy. But let's say you could put it, just to make it a bit different than the usual drink. Right?
That's pretty.
So it is actually really pretty. It's really cute in these little things. And then when you serve it, then you take a little piece of fresh mint. Oh, and I found another thing. I like to have those drinks obviously. And it's really good. The cocktails are so much fun. You can just do cocktails all the time. Now, I got these. I like having a straw in my drinks because you can play with it, and I like to make it last. Like, you're talking with people and you squish, especially when you have like limes and things, you can squish it. So I found these paper straws, which are great because you can better for the environment, and they were really cute. Currently, plastic straws are a big no-no, so this is yummy. So there it is, and we will put all our cocktail recipes on the Keep It Simple social media Facebook page, and please share with us your favorite drinks. It's really fun when you go to a party and you walk in and you have like a special cocktail. So yeah,
I'm going to hand you back your iPhone, and there we go.
thank you.
All right.
Yeah, me for sure.
So the other reason we are shooting a video today, Catherine and I, is because video is what you need to be doing in 2017. And a lot of people we're working with still have not picked up the camera and tried to get comfortable. So shooting a video with your phone and then using it on Facebook is called a native video. When you get a little more confident, you will be able to go live. And that means you hit play and it's live streaming directly into the news feeds of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, like Catherine is doing right now. And so there's more opportunity for mistakes. But we're not a perfect society, and I don't think any of the people that are following Keep It Simple social media are following us to be judging us. They're following us to learn. And that is really what social chats is all about for Catherine and I. It's about us coming up with ways that we can share technology to help bridge the distance for you between using it and making yourself successful online. So we would love it if you shared your recipes with us here in the comment section, even if you're watching the replay of this live chat. And as well, ask us questions. If you're wondering how to shoot a video, ask Catherine and I. We are here to help you. This is Heather and this is Catherine. And remember, everyone, we want you to move it on.
we're double living it. This is like geeking out to the finest. It's so exciting.
So right now, Catherine is actually shooting live on Instagram. We're shooting live in the feeds of Facebook, and we're just having fun. And tonight I'm having a big fun cocktail party. So yeah. I'm looking forward to sharing my new cocktail, and I'm really looking forward to trying Catherine's new cocktail, the MOJITO.
And I have my family in town, so we'll be drinking lots to handle each other.
Okay, everyone, remember, keep it simple.